So that's exactly what happened. He did end up going into the prison within the prison. But before that happened, we were talking with Barney, and he said, I can't give my talk this morning, because I was like, Barney, what on earth happened? And he said, I can't give my talk. I've brought reproach on the church. And I just thought, what a sweet and tender heart for this. At that point, I guess Barney was about 44, 45. For this tender-hearted fella who had grown up really rough, didn't have any family to speak of because of the way that he had behaved. His family had completely disowned him. He was told his whole life that he was a good-for-nothing, no account. Those were his words to me in a letter, and he was just really beat down. He said, I've brought reproach upon the church, and I cannot do my communion talk this morning. And so we gathered around him. There were about 10 of us. We gathered around him, and we said, Barney, tell us what happened. Before we let you just off the hook on delivering your talk this morning, because nobody else here is prepared. I mean, I can do it, but the goal is to train you guys to know that you can do these things for yourself. You don't need somebody standing between you and God in the practice of these things that please Him so much, like communion. And so I want you to let us know what happened. And he said, well, I was studying. I was on my bunk. I was studying. And I think you got to understand about the bunk in prison is this is like your home. And nobody comes up and just messes with somebody on their bunk without knowing that they are asking for it. And so he said, I was on my bunk and I was studying, had my Bible open, and this guy who's been giving me grief came by, young punk, came by. He's not been in prison long. He came by and started asking me what I was doing. And I told him, well, I'm studying. He said, what are you studying for? I told him, well, I'm studying for, I've got a communion talk that I'm going to be giving. And this was on Saturday morning. And so he said, the guy kept asking me questions and started saying stuff like communion isn't necessary, and the Bible doesn't say that communion is something that anybody does, and why are you doing this, and you're wasting your time, and you're stupid, and all this kind of stuff. And he said, I finally ran out of answers, and I didn't know what to do, because you got to remember, Barney is new in the faith. And he said, I didn't know what to do, and he kept pushing and pushing and pushing, made me more and more angry, and so finally I couldn't do anything else, and I just punched him in the face.